Hello there, beautiful being. How are you today? So much information has been coming through in the last few weeks. And what we wanted to touch on today is, why are you here? What is the reason that you are here on this channel? What is it that you're looking for? You know, many years ago, when I first put together Your Past is a Gift, there was so much information inside. I felt like I had just discovered something incredible, you know, and I felt like, wow, the whole world needs to know about this. And at the time, the first book, Your Past is a Gift, was published in 2017. And at that time, I was so full of information that I created my first YouTube channel, Easy Mind, Easy Life. And I would, just like with this channel, I would sit every day, you know, and just allow Spirit to speak through me. But what's been coming through a lot lately in the last few weeks is, why are you here on this channel? What is it that you are hoping to gain or learn, or what wisdom is it that you're after? What is the reason that you are here on this channel? You know, we're just, for us, it's always about, when I say us, me and my spirit team, it's about how we can serve you better. Always, everything that we're doing is about serving you better. How can we do better? And for us, it would be a huge, you know, huge help if we knew why you are here, what it is that you're hoping to gain from these beautiful videos. You know, in the meantime, we just keep sharing whatever wisdom comes through, you know, but we feel like, for me, many times it feels like I'm stabbing in the dark. I know that the message that Spirit has given me is for someone out there, and I know it will reach that person when it's meant to reach them, just the same way I've received all the messages that I've received when I received them. There is such a thing as divine timing. And sometimes it's because we haven't finished with that experience yet, that we can't allow the new information to come through, the new awareness. We're not in that space yet. Okay, so for example, in my, you know, life, I always use myself as the example. For such a huge part of my life, I was filled with resentment towards my mother. You know, and if you go back to all the earlier videos, you'll have all the information there because it was all unraveling as I started this beautiful channel. And as you share, you know, your journey, what you've been through, it helps bring up stuff for others, you know, as well. It may not be the same story, it may not be, but there may be something there. The way it's said, the way it's presented, it may be just that moment. You know, the night before you went to sleep with all these issues in your head, and the next day you find that video with that line, just one little thing that helps you shift out of whatever it is that the problem was for you. Now, for me, I had to go through that experience. But looking back, you know, when I look at myself in those years where I was filled with anger, filled with resentment, filled with unforgiveness, there was no way I could understand any of this that I am bringing through right now. There was no way that I could have this awareness. Because when you're caught up in that experience, all of your energy is caught up in that experience. That's all you see. It's like you are in the middle of a forest and all you see are these huge trees around you and you can't see the way out. Or one of the beautiful sayings that came out, I've heard it before, but it came out as I was doing my beautiful coaching course recently. was saying, you can't see the label of the jar from inside the jar. I heard that expression many years ago and it came up again. But it's the same thing. You're standing in the middle of the forest and you're surrounded by these huge trees. All you see are the trees. You can't see anything else and you can't see a way out. Because every step you take forward, there's just more trees. Until eventually that experience has served you. It has run its course. You have gained everything you were meant to gain from that beautiful experience. And you finally find your way out of that forest. So, my beautiful beings, wherever you are on your journey is perfect for you. It's not right and it's not wrong. And other people's journeys are not better or worse. It's just their journey. It's just their journey. You know, just recently, my daughter was asking me, out of the blue, we were on a walk, and she said to me, Mum, would you be sad if I died? And I said to her, of course I would, darling. I would miss you so, so much. Our chats, our walks, her beautiful smile, how her eyes light up. Because they're always so full of light, you know. She's just so, so beautiful. Of course I would miss her physically, being able to talk to her every day the way we do. And, but I said to her, I know that I'll be okay. And I know that you'll be okay. And I said to her, and I would still be talking to you every day because I know you're there. I know you're there. Even though I can't hug you, I can't physically hold you, I can't touch you. I can't see you with my physical eyes. But there's so much beyond this physical reality that we're not even aware of because we're so engrossed in this physical reality. And then as I was speaking, you know, she was saying to me, because I said, I know what my purpose is now. I know what my calling is. It is so clear to me. You know, I know what I'm here for. There's no doubt anymore. There's no fear around it. I've cleared all of that through my coaching course that I've been through. And, you know, so I was saying to her, I know that my life will go on because I haven't finished what I came to do. And in all that conversation, you know, we get to the end of it and she was saying to me, well, what about Daddy? You haven't mentioned him once. And there was, you know, I couldn't explain it to her, but there was this knowing that we are connected beyond this lifetime. We have had many, many lifetimes together because I've seen them. And I know there was just a knowing, you know, that he's there. And not in a way that I take him for granted that he's there, but, you know, with a heart full of gratitude that I know he came to support me in this lifetime for what I am meant to bring through. You know, he's here. We're here together. And everything I do, we're doing it together. You know, even though I'm the one creating it all but he's the support. He's the backbone, you know, to everything that I do. And he is the catalyst. He's the reason the first book started. You know, it was just a comment that he made that just propelled me forward onto this path, you know, looking for answers. So I know his place in my life. And I know we'd be there for each other if anything happened to her, and we would get through it because we've been through a lot together. You know, 30 years we've been together and we've seen each other through a lot. You know, when I went through the IVF, I almost died, and I got hyperstimulation, ovarian hyperstimulation. And I spent 10 days in the hospital, and there were a couple of nights there that I thought, I wasn't going to see the next day, you know. And maybe more than 2, no, at least 2 nights that I was sure. And then there were a few days there that I was like, oh, I'm so done with this experience, you know, just take me now, I'm good. You know, I don't see the point of this at all, you know. So know in your heart that the beings that are in your life are serving you in every moment, even when they seem really, really challenging. Because for a long time, that's how I felt about my partner. It felt like, oh, everything I believed or everything I thought, he was always challenging it, always opposed to it, always, you know, trying to push through a different point of view. And at the end of it, I saw the beauty of it, that he was pushing me to be limitless, unlimited, because this is who we truly are in our natural state. Unlimited. Every belief you take on limits you. You know, every belief. And so, you know, every time he would challenge me, and no matter how much it would upset me at the time, you know, because now every time he challenges me, I just sit with gratitude that this is the next step forward. This is pushing me forward. You know, this is what this is for. I don't see it as, oh, you're just being difficult. You know, in the early days, I'd be like, oh, you're just being difficult. You just want to be the opposite to just be difficult, you know. I don't see it that way. I see it as, no, he's challenging me to step outside of that thought pattern, that belief, that limitation. That limitation. Now, something that was coming through that was incredibly beautiful in the last few days is that when you keep seeing people the way, okay, say for example, it'll be easier if I explain it with an example of mine. My mum. Now, a lot of you know the story, some of you don't. I grew up with her yelling at me. I grew up with her smacking me whenever I did something wrong, which 90% of the time I didn't know what I had done. I just knew she was angry. I knew she was coming for me. And so for a huge portion of my childhood, I tried to be invisible, because if she didn't know I was there, then I didn't have to put up with that behavior, you know, which I had no control over. But staying on track of where we're going with this conversation, if I keep seeing my mum in that way, as that angry being that is coming to yell at me, that is coming to punish me, that is coming to make me feel that I'm not good enough for her love, if I keep her in that space, if that's the way I keep seeing her, there's no room for her to change. If we understand that we are the creators of our reality, you are the creator of your reality. We're going to talk on this for the next few videos, because for me it's becoming so clear that this is the truth. We are co-creating with spirit in every moment. In every moment. And unfortunately, if that's the way you want to look at it, for so many of us, we've been taught to look at what we don't want. I don't like this. I don't like how it makes me feel. I don't want any more of that. But we don't look at what it is that we do want, what would make us feel good. We just focus on, we don't like that, we don't want that. And so when we look at these beings that have served us in our childhood for us to have this human experience, because we chose it on a soul level to co-create this lifetime with spirit. When we keep looking at them in that space with those eyes, it cannot change. Your relationship cannot change. You keep seeing them as the persecutor. You keep seeing yourself as the victim. And it's only recently that I've understood why we do that. Because as long as we hold on to that pattern, that they are the persecutor and we are the victim, we don't take responsibility for our lives. We keep blaming them for our unhappiness. We keep blaming them that we're not at peace. We keep blaming them for not feeling loved. And more importantly, we keep blaming them for the reason that we can't be the love that we are. Because of them, we can't be the love that we are. There's so much anger, there's so much resentment, there's so much unforgiveness in the way. This is the experience we came to have. And how do we shift that? If that is something that you yearn with all your heart, how do you shift that pattern? Any thoughts? I'll give you a second to think about it. How do you change that pattern? It's the very first step. You take your focus off them and you start to focus on you. That's the very first step, always. To shift that pattern of unforgiveness, of resentment, of anger, of fear, because many times these experiences have created fear within us. To shift that pain, you need to take your focus off of them and place it on you. This is your life, not theirs, not your children's, not your partner's. This is your life. You are creating your life, co-creating your life with Spirit in every moment. And the moment you decide, this is my life, I am responsible for my happiness. I am responsible for my peace. I am responsible for my love. These things are in me, they're not out there in others. They're in me. I can choose to be these things at any time. And it starts by focusing on me. It starts here. If you keep pointing out there, you're just going to keep creating what you've been creating up until now. And if what you have in your life right now lights you up, then keep doing that. Keep doing it. If your life is exactly the way you want it to be in every aspect, keep doing what you're doing. But I know in my heart that if you're here, it's because it's not. There's something missing. All right, my beautiful beings. So we're going to leave you with that thought. Is it time to start focusing on me and stop focusing on them and what they've done? It starts there. We're going to talk more of this in the next video. All right, my beautiful beings. What's next after we do that? Remember to click like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the messages. We love you dearly. We'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.